This room went from looking like a college dorm to a designer space using 6 simple home decorating formulas, and I'm about to show you every single one. I'm Christina, and I have been a home stylist for over 16 years now. If you've ever looked at a beautiful room and thought, I could never make a space look like that, today changes everything. I've spent years breaking down what makes spaces feel high-end and cohesive, and it all comes down to repeatable formulas for any room and any budget. Now let's start with one of my favorite formulas, the 60-30-10 color rule. So here's what people get wrong about using color in their space. They're a little bit scared, so they tend to go neutral and keep everything in beige tones, or they overdo it with a ton of different colors that don't go well together. But so many designers use this exact ratio. 60% of the colors in your room should be your neutral foundation. So this will be your wall paint, draperies, your investment furniture like your sofas or your bed frame. 30% should be your supporting color. So things like textiles in your space, maybe some accent furniture. And 10% are going to be those fun pop colors. So those can be added to accessories on your tabletop, art, and smaller textiles. And the magic really happens when you get these 3 proportions right. Suddenly, everything is going to feel balanced and intentional. Now, here's what happened when we first got our little garage house almost 20 years ago now. I found a beautiful red paint chip in the store, brought it home, didn't test it or anything, and put it up in my kitchen walls. What I thought was this deep, beautiful color turned out to be this hot pepper fire engine red that made my kitchen feel like a fire station. And it felt overwhelming and claustrophobic and not that relaxing space I wanted my kitchen to be when I had my morning coffee. It took me many years to figure out that if I just dialed back that red to that 10% pop color, it would make my room feel amazing. And I often do this at Christmas time with pops of red in my more neutral living room. Now, Formula 2 separates amateur interior styling from professional styling. This is the triangle method, and this is such a fantastic tool when you're arranging things on a coffee table, on an ottoman, or on open shelving. Most people line up everything on their surfaces like soldiers in a line, but that just makes everything feel rigid and not like it belongs together. But look what happens when we apply the triangle formula. It's always a good idea to arrange accessories in groups of 3, forming a triangular shape, and vary the height, so something tall, something medium height, and something short. And include varying elements like a stack of books, plants, and it's always fun to add something personal, like the shells that we had from our family vacation on our ottoman tray. And here's the secret that I definitely missed in the past. Try to maintain about 50% of clear space on your surfaces, whether it's your shelf, side table, coffee table, ottoman. I know it feels wrong, but this blank space or this white space is what's gonna make your accessories really shine. I learned this the hard way as I've decorated my home over the years. I used to jam as many accessories and collections on my surfaces as possible, which made my home feel really cluttered. I've since learned to edit my space and maintain that white space around my arrangements and only put out things that I actually use and or love. Here's Formula 3, and this one will completely transform your space. It's the 3-2-1 lighting formula. Lighting is something that we often overlook when we're styling our spaces, but it is so important to create that cozy mood in our home. Most people rely on just one overhead light in their space, and they wonder why their space feels a little bit cold. But every expensive looking room I've seen follows this formula. Use 3 different light sources minimum in each room, so have an ambient light, which is often your overhead light or your pot lights. Have task lighting, so these are lights for specific tasks, for example, floor lamps for reading in your living room, or a light over your sink for washing dishes. And then include accent lights, so these are the smaller lights to add that mood in your space. You can use candles, faux candles, twinkle lights, a little battery operated lamp. And this is gonna completely change the feeling of your space. And this formula has definitely transformed my home over the years, especially in our kitchen. We used to rely solely on our overhead pot lights in the space, but when we turn those off and flip on the island pendants or the over the sink pendants, our task lighting, and maybe add a little lamp to the countertops, this creates that cozy, relaxed mood that I love, especially in the evening. Now, Formula 4 is my bed styling formula. And this single change can make your home feel like a luxury hotel, but a lot more personal. Most people just throw a couple pillows and a comforter on their bed and call it a day. But there's an exact layering formula that I love to use that's gonna make your bed look and feel ultra cozy. So here's the system. Start with a mattress cover and a fitted sheet. Then you can add a top sheet, though this is optional in modern styling, especially if you're using a washable duvet cover. Next comes your blanket or a lightweight comforter, then your main duvet or quilt, and finally a decorative throw at the foot of the bed for texture. For pillows, it's all about proportion. On a king or queen bed, use 2 to 4 sleeping pillows, then 2 Euro shams, those are those 26 by 26 inch pillows, or 3 for a king size bed. And use anywhere from 1 to 3 decorative pillows in front, depending on how many pillows you love on your bed. Look how luxurious and intentional this looks, and it makes you just want to jump into bed and relax. I learned this formula when I stayed at a hotel many years ago, and I looked at the beds and thought, those are the coziest looking beds I've ever seen. So since then, I used a similar method to make my own beds at home and the ones in my vacation rental, and suddenly my bedroom felt like a retreat instead of just a place to sleep. Now, Formula 5 is my budget planning formula, and I know budget isn't that luxurious of a word. It's definitely something that is really important in home styling. Here's an easy way to break down how you're decorating each room financially. Put 50% of your whole budget for the space towards investment furniture. So these are pieces in your space that you're going to use every single day, and the quality is super important. The sofa in your living room, the bed frame in your bedroom, your dining table. Put 30% of your budget to textiles and soft goods. These are going to make your space feel super cozy, and you also use these a lot. Things like throw blankets, throw pillows, or good linens for your bed. And then use 20% of your budget for things like accessories and artwork to add personality to your space. And here's the insider secret: mix and match high and low pieces. If everything in your living room is from a designer store or everything is new, it's not gonna look very cozy or have a lot of personality. But if you mix higher end pieces with lower end pieces, or you mix old and new intentionally, your space is gonna be so dynamic and cozy. Spend your money on durable sofas, area rugs, and maybe one good statement fixture, and then you can DIY and thrift a lot of the accessories and have that beautiful high-low mix. When I first started decorating my home, I made every single mistake in the book. I would just go to HomeSense when I wanted to start decorating a room, find all of the fun accessories that I love, basically blow most of my budget on those, and wonder why my room didn't feel good. Meanwhile, I still had an old sofa and an old area rug where, in actuality, I should have spent the majority of my budget on those big investment pieces that I use every single day, and then fill everything else in with accessories later. Formula number 6 is the room transformation timeline. And this is a little trick on how to renovate every space without going broke. I think a lot of us are prone to wanting to completely redecorate our space within a week. We want it now. We're just used to having things really quickly. But I think the magic is doing it nice and slowly so that you know exactly how you live in the space and are really careful where every dollar is spent. So I like to break down room transformations into 3 phases. Phase number 1 is going to be your foundation phase. And this is going to take probably about 1 to 2 months depending on your space. So this is the foundation stuff, like the wall paint, basic repairs in your space, good furniture arranging, and setting up your primary lighting. Phase 2 is gonna happen over the next couple months. And this one is gonna be all about adding comfort to your space. So adding window coverings, textiles like blankets or linens for your beds, and adding some storage into your space. And this is where your room is gonna really start feeling cozy. And then phase 3, which is the final phase, it's also going to last you another couple months, or really it could last you your lifetime once you keep learning your style, is adding personality to your space. This is where you add art, personal collections, thrifted finds, vintage pieces that you love, plants. And this is where the room is going to transform to feel like it's completely yours. And following a timeline like this can help you spread your renovation over the course of 6 or more months and make you take the time to be intentional about your choices, whether you're buying an item new, thrifting, or DIYing. When I'm working with styling clients, they often feel overwhelmed by trying to pick everything all at once. And I like to offer basic suggestions for their foundation and then really encourage them to take the time to make the space theirs. They don't have to buy every single accessory for the space immediately, but they can enjoy thrift trips here and there. They can enjoy DIYing things over time. It always takes time to make your space beautiful. Okay, so here's the exciting thing. These 6 formulas are just a part of my new course called the Cozy Formula. These will absolutely transform your space, but I have dozens more formulas in 22 chapters in my Cozy Formula guidebook and course. And I develop formulas for every single room in your home. Rooms like your bedroom, your home office, even those bonus spaces like your basement. I've taken everything I've learned over 16 years of interior styling and put it into this course and this guidebook. And each room gets a specific blueprint, plus I have shopping guides, DIY ideas, quick reference cards, video lessons, and so much more. It's like having me as your personal design consultant and being able to transform your home on your own timeline. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start decorating with confidence, I'm gonna leave the link in the description box below to my Cozy Formula course. And because it's launch day, I have a really exciting promotion for you, so you're gonna wanna snag it today. But honestly, even if you just take these 6 formulas I mentioned in today's video and apply them to your home this weekend, you're going to feel a huge transformation in your space. All the details are down in the description box below for the Cozy Formula course. I hope you love it, and I cannot wait to see your room transformations as you use the formulas that I've shared. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, you do not have to have a huge budget to create a space that you love. Just use some easy formulas and you'll be on your way.